Hey gang, John Backrelli here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report, or I should say Ice Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is Thursday, January 2nd. Water temperature at Belle Isle is up to a balmy 39 degrees after all the warm weather and rain that we had. And man, we had a lot of rain, and we had quite a bit of warmth in there with that rain as well. And that has basically taken away all of the ice in the area right now. So we are starting out with a clean slate. And that goes for all the way, let's see, up to Lake Simcoe, which I guess they only have one bay that's still frozen, Chicken Bay, which is a pretty small bay up there on Simcoe. Everything is opened up. In order to get ice, you got to go up to Lake Saginaw Bay, or to Lake Cadillac or Mitchell or up to Houghton Lake. They still have fishable ice up in those areas. That's my understanding anyways as for right now. But everything is going to change going forward. And if I sound overly happy, it might just be because of the weather forecast, or it might be because of the tequila. And if he has to bleep me out, it'll probably be because of the tequila. But honestly, I think it's a combination of all the above. But anyways, weather forecast going forward looks fantastic. We haven't seen a weather forecast like this literally in years. Several years at least, where we have a 30-day forecast that we do not get above freezing. Matter of fact, the temperature out there right now may be the high temperature for the next 30 days if the extended forecasts are correct. We're going to have highs in the 20s, lows in the low teens to single digits, basically going forward here. So all we're really doing right now is waiting for a little bit of a lull in the wind, because we're going to have some wind as this cold air pushes in. We're going to be waiting for a little lull in the wind for the main lake to freeze up. And that, whether you're up on Saginaw Bay or you're down here on St. Clair or you're over on Lake Simcoe, we're all going to be waiting for the same thing. Just a little lull in the wind so everything can solidify, and then we can start making thickness. So that's where we are right now. We're starting out fresh, which is kind of a good thing, because we had first ice, and we had a thaw, and then we had a second freeze, and then we had a thaw, and then we had another little freeze after that. So we had all this kind of questionable mixture of kind of crummy ice all over the place. And we're going to start out fresh, and when she freezes, she's going to freeze, and then we're going to make very consistent ice after that. And there's not a lot of snow in the forecast coming up, at least for us in our area. The East Coast may be getting more snow with this weather pattern that we're going into, but I think we're mostly just going to get cold. So the big factor for us is going to be the wind. How long is it going to blow? When's it going to lay down? And when she freezes, then we're going to start making thickness. So I would expect canals are going to start to become fishable sometime maybe Sunday, Monday, Tuesday-ish. But it's all going to depend on where you are and how long it stays open with the wind. So watch our Facebook page between now and the next report, maybe late next week. Are we going to be able to do a report maybe late next week?
Sure.
Okay. Joshua says sure. So we'll try to get another ice report towards the end of next week, and we ought to have much better info for you guys at that point. But right now, that's where she is. It's all about the weather, guys. Now, our perch contest did start officially yesterday. We had the first fish come in today, and Gus brought in a really nice 13-inch perch that was just under a pound, like 0.99. And then as he was walking out the door, he was the leader in first place because he was the first fish. And Fly Rod John walks in and weighs one in at I'm going by memory here. I think it was 1.08 and 13.5 inches. So Fly Rod's in the lead. Gus is in second place. And so we got two fish pushing a pound already, and we're not even on the ice yet. So these are just shore caught fish. So there's a lot of big walleyes that have been being caught out there all along the American shoreline for at least for the last week since we lost the ice. And there's a lot of big perch being caught from shore now too. Even with the lousy conditions with muddy water and everything, there's still some big perch being caught, and there's still a lot of walleye. So once we get that lake ice forming, guys, it is going to be a melee. And we're going to start out most likely with fairly dirty water conditions. which is going to make those fish feel very comfortable. They're going to be in very tight, very shallow, and they're going to be very easy to catch. So the devil's going to be in the details, whether we get some ice jams and stuff out there that'll hold them a little bit longer. But bottom line is, we've got some great conditions and we got some great fishing ahead of us. Now, for the next few days, well, probably just couple days, until we freeze back up again, like places like the spillway, guys like Mike Coleman are going to be able to continue to take advantage of the toothy critter bite. And even for you walleye guys casting from shore, I mean, there should be a good bite for these walleyes up until everything skims over. But Mike's been taking advantage, catching muskies, and he even got a really big northern, which is a great bonus this time of the year. But that's going to come to an end once we get down into these low teens or maybe single digits going into next week. That's going to skim everything over, and that short casting thing is going to be done, and then it's going to be time to get that ice fishing stuff out. So if you haven't gotten the rods out and respooled them, if you haven't gotten them auger blades sharpened, or you haven't got that shanty pulled down out of the rafters in the garage, I think it's time to get them down and get them ready. Same thing with the ATVs and stuff, because if this forecast holds, we are going to have not just, main lake fishing ice, but we're going to have snowmobile and ATV ice. Now, I said, the caveat was if these forecasts hold, and I do believe that they will. If you guys remember, there's a forecaster that I've been watching. Started watching him last year. It's called Direct Weather. And this guy does a really good job of looking at all the different weather models out there. And then he shows you all the different models, and then he gives you his opinion of which ones have been being more accurate as of late. And right now, all the weather models are forecasting cold temps through the entire month of January. And the extended forecasts going out past that are saying once we get in that track, we're going to stay there, and we're just going to have a brutally cold winter, which is great for all you ice fishermen out there, because the last two have been just horrendous. They've been bad. So looking forward to a great season going ahead, and maybe some fishable lake ice by not this coming weekend, but maybe the weekend after. That's what I'm thinking. I'm guessing we're going to freeze up middle of next week. We've got a couple of nights. I think they're forecasting lower winds, and I think that's when the magic will happen. And after we get her to skim over a little bit, then we're going to make thickness. So with all that said, stop in, see us at the store. I've been working on some new things like I always do, and I'll have some other stuff coming in later this winter, some new products. But keep the faith, folks. The ice is on its way, and get that equipment ready, and we'll see you in the store maybe this weekend. Hey, gang, if you like our content, hit the little subscribe button and the bell icon, and you'll be notified as soon as we put out new stuff.